Welcome back, and today we are going to talk about the astrology ahead for the month of April. And I am going to share my chart here in just a moment, but I want to talk about what you can expect and maybe some of the things you may already be experiencing or feeling. So we are in Aries season. So the sun already moved into Aries last week. And so we've been feeling this. You may be experiencing this Aries energy because some of the planets have been moving in and out of Aries for a few weeks now. Last month we talked about there was so much action in Pisces. And now a lot of those planets have moved into Aries, and Aries is a very different energy than Pisces. Whereas Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So you may notice where you are wrapping up things, karmic cycles are ending and something new is beginning. So you may be needing to let go of something before something new can start. That is some of the themes that we will be seeing. So Pisces is a very spiritual sign, and it is the last sign of the zodiac. So they are very evolved. They're not emotionally reactive, which Aries is quite the opposite. Aries is the very first sign of the zodiac. They can be impulsive, reactive, emotional, explosive. But because Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, they are very exploratory. They're very willing to take a risk. They're innovative. They're willing to be the trailblazer. Aries energy is very courageous. Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is a sign of the divine masculine, which we will talk about. And it is very much this energy of taking charge of your life and taking charge of what it is that you want and being willing to go for it. So in this Aries season, you may be guided to take new action. You may have new ideas. You may have this creative energy coming in because Aries, all the fire signs are very creative, but Aries is all about that innovation, taking the first step, going places that no one else has ever gone before. Now, I like to say, I don't necessarily set New Year's goals on January 1st because if you look astrologically and the energy, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. So, many astrologers, most all astrologers I've ever learned from, we really take the energy of Aries is the beginning. It is the beginning of the new astrological year, and Aries is the first sign of spring. There's a reason why a lot of people start new workout habits in March, April, because they're getting this initiation, this activation energy that Aries is very well known for. If you didn't feel motivated to start a new workout routine in January because Capricorn doesn't love to work out, neither does necessarily Aquarius, but Aries definitely loves to be in the body. First of all, Aries rules the first house of the zodiac and of your chart, and it's all about the body. It's all about your identity. And so you may feel like you want to take on a new identity. You want to implement new habits. So you this is a great time to start a new workout routine, taking up a new type of workout, maybe something you've never done before. So there is this energy of going after what you want. Stop waiting. Aries is, like I said, impulsive. It's not waiting for anyone else's approval. Aries is, this is what I want, and I'm going to go after it. And I don't care who has an opinion on it. So if you've been feeling weighed down by life, this is a great time to reassess what it is that you want, what it is that you want out of life, and being willing to let go of things that are not getting you closer to your goals. And like I mentioned, Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is one of the signs, the main sign really, of the divine masculine. And so Aries slash Mars energy, it is very about going for it, just going and doing the thing that you want to do. It's very action oriented. And so you may feel just like this energy of what am I waiting for? Being willing to ditch the procrastination and just do the thing that you've been wanting to do and maybe you've been putting off. If you are a masculine or you have a masculine in your life, this could be, there's a lot of Aries energy, which I will show you in the chart, but there is this energy of maybe an activation, activating that masculine energy in you. And even if you're a feminine, if you identify as a feminine, you still have masculine energy inside of us. We all have masculine and feminine energies. One will just be more prevalent than the other. But even if you identify as a feminine, you may notice you stepping more, even more into your masculine energy if that's something that you've been avoiding. So here I am sharing the chart. I'm recording this on Sunday, March 30th, but just yesterday on Saturday, March 29th, we had a solar eclipse, new moon in Aries. And so that is the chart I'm showing you right now because the new moon is all about the new beginning. It's the beginning of the lunar cycle. And with it being an eclipse in Aries, you may notice themes that have been emerging over the past 2 years. So we had our first eclipse in Aries in April of 2023. And so you can think back on what was happening for you in 2023 of March, April-ish. And at the time, we had we had the North Node in Aries and we had the South Node in Libra. And so we were working with themes around identifying our own needs, our own desires, and being willing to go for it, being willing to speak up for ourselves. And we're leaving behind the shadow side of Libra, which is codependency, people pleasing, doing things that maybe other people want you to do, but you've been neglecting yourself, neglecting your own needs, your own desires. And so this eclipse is really wrapping up that cycle of whatever you've been navigating the past 2 years. And you're going to feel this more intensely if you have your sun, your moon, or your rising in the sign of Aries and Libra, or Cancer and Capricorn. Before I forget, I did want to mention that I have opened up my calendar. I am now doing astrological birth chart readings again. I closed off my calendar a couple months ago because I also work in tax and accounting, and we're in peak season right now, but that's wrapping up about the middle of April. I'm in a place now where I can start to offer those personalized readings again. I love doing them. So I will leave the link below if you want to book with me, and we can talk about things that you're going through. We can talk about your own energy, your sun, your moon rising, what that means for you. We can talk about career paths, relationship things that you're navigating, your life path, your soul purpose, and how to fill your own cup in a way that is unique to you. I don't believe in self-care the way most people teach it around like bubble baths and spa days. And I love all those things. But if you have a significant placement in Aries, those things are probably not high priority for you. You're going to probably be more in tune to working out or taking action in some way and moving your body. So let's look at the chart here. There's so much going on. You can see all these planets lined up in Aries and still a little bit in Pisces. We had the sun and the moon. When we have a new moon, the sun and the moon are together and they're in the sign of Aries. So this is a new start, a new beginning in somewhere, depending on where you have Aries in your natal birth chart. And I did do a video several years ago teaching you how you can find your natal birth chart. I am on astro.com right now, and I will link that below on how you can run your own natal birth chart and find out, where this Aries is happening for you. So we have the sun and the moon in Aries. We also have Mercury at the 0 degree of Aries. So Mercury is currently retrograde. This is where I was saying we had several planets already. Venus in Aries, Venus and Mercury have already been in Aries for a couple weeks, and both those planets are currently retrograde, and they're about to move back into Pisces. Now, Venus has already moved back into Pisces, and then Mercury is getting ready to also. So Mercury is all about communication. You may hear horror stories around Mercury retrograde. Happens 3 times a year, so this is nothing new, but Mercury governs over our communication. So travel, sometimes you may experience like travel delays or communication problems. All of a sudden your phone's not working, or you need a new one, or you may have certain systems that need upgraded. But anytime a planet is in retrograde, it is a point of review. It is an opportunity to slow down and review what's working, what's not working, more about what's not working. So if you are experiencing where your phone's not working, or all of a sudden your plane is delayed, that's an invitation for you to look at, wait a minute, what do I need to look at right now? I always think of Mercury as like systems because it rules over Gemini and Virgo both. So Gemini is all about communication, but Virgo is all about systems and daily rituals. So you may be just needing to reflect on what systems in my life are working and what systems in my life are not working. We also have Venus in retrograde, and Venus is all about love and beauty and relationships. And again, it's in retrograde, so we are reviewing something when it comes to our values, because Venus rules values. It also rules over money, but so you may just be taking an inside look at, am I living true to my own values? Is this relationship true to my own values? Am I earning money in a way that's true to my values? And we have the sun and the moon sitting in the same sign with Chiron. So Chiron has been in Aries for a while, several years now, and this Chiron is the wounded healer and it's spiritual gifts. So once you start to identify these wounds in yourself, you often could help other people in with this. It's like a spiritual gift that you're able to help other people with. With it in the sign of Aries, this is around your body or your identity. So you may be just noticing things or themes around your physical body, ailments, things that, are painful or things you are not working well. And this could be just a season of new healing. We talked about wrapping up an old cycle and starting something new. So you may just feel like you want to start taking better care of your body in this season. So I would love to know where you are seeing a new theme emerge and what was going on in your life in April of 2023. I was thinking back to where I was in April 2023 and nothing really came up. And then I really started going through the timeline. One thing you can do is go through your photos. I left Facebook, but I used to go through my Facebook timeline, my activity, and I would just look at what was I posting at that time. And it came to me. It was in April of 2023 when I was near an emotional breakdown. So we had to back up in November of 2022. My dad got really sick and he was in the hospital for 3 months. And I work in accounting, which is right before the peak season of tax. And my dad also does taxes from his house. And when I realized he was going to be in the hospital for a really long time, and this wasn't just an in and out thing, I took control of his business and I started communicating with his clients, my best to keep his clients happy because this is his sole income. He's single, he's not married. This is his sole way of paying for his bill. So I was doing my best to keep his business afloat while still working. And I still had a husband. I had 3 children. I was trying to maintain all these different things in my own life. And so that happened from November of 2022 up through he came home from the hospital in February, but he still wasn't right. He didn't actually start walking again until May of 2023. And I remember getting to the end of tax season or near the end, and I was dang near an emotional breakdown. And my ex-husband would look at me and he was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "I just don't know how much more I can take. I don't know how much longer I can hold all of this and keep doing all of this." And I had asked him to just take our youngest daughter sometimes and just take her to the park and do things with her and just give me a break. And that didn't really happen. So it was in October of 2023 when I initiated my divorce. And so that is the theme that I have been navigating the past 2 years, but it really did start in April of 2023. So I want you to think back of what you were going through in April 2023 and this theme of I was starting to advocate for my own needs and I was starting to think I can't keep doing for everyone else when no one is pouring back into me. I have to do what I can for myself before I can at the time I was pouring from an empty cup. And I know that's so cliche, but it truly was. And it's why I'm so passionate about helping women put themselves at the top of their to-do list because I've been through this cycle many times and It's a theme that I see among the clients that I work with. So I would love to know in the comments. And if you would like a natal chart reading, I will leave the link to my calendar and you can book a reading in the month of April or going into May. And I can't wait to support you.